Welcome everybody back to the Figure Kit Garage. Brent Krug back once again with more out-of-the-box reviews. This is going to be one of the hauls that I picked up from WantaFest a few weeks back. But before we get into the review, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has recently subscribed to the channel within the last week and a half. The support means a lot. It really does. I hope you guys enjoy everything that I put out there. With the last four that I did, a lot of people really took a liking to them, so I'm really appreciative of that, and I want to say thank you very much. This kit is one that I picked up from Cult TV Man during the WantaFest event that was held on Facebook. And this is based on the Irwin Allen television series Land of the Giants. Now, I've only seen maybe 4 or 5 of the episodes on MeTV, but it's actually a television series that was pretty ahead of its time. For those of you who have never seen it, it's a television series that 3 individuals, 2 men and 1 woman, who are orbiting Earth in a spacecraft called the Spindrift, get caught in a vortex, if I remember correctly, or some type of spatial anomaly, as they always say on Star Trek and everything else. And they return to Earth, and when they land, they find out that everything from plants to humans to animals are about 100 times bigger than they are. Hence the name, Land of the Giants. Now, this kit was originally issued by the Aurora Model Kit Company back in 1968 and later reissued by Polar Lights. Doll and Hobby Georgia acquired the rights to the kit, and they reissued it a few years back. And I've got it, and I don't believe that they did any major retooling to the kit, but the box art between the three different versions, the Aurora, Polar Lights, and then Doll and Hobby, I believe that the box art was the major substantial change, which after looking at all 3, it's actually pretty kick-ass to see different variations of this kit through history. So for a 52-year-old kit, to not have to have any major retooling, it says a lot. This kit is 1/48 scale in 22 pieces. It is a plastic kit. When completed, measures 10 inches long and 5 inches high. And this was inspired by promotional art for the television series before it ever aired. So for them to actually come up with a kit that's based on the original promotional art for the series, actually pretty wild. You don't see that a whole heck of a lot anymore. And normally this kit goes for $29.95 on Cult TV Man's Hobby Shop. And at WantaFest, he was running a special on it. I picked it up for $24.99 with shipping. It was $34.87 altogether. It's not too damn bad. So we're going to pop the box and take a look at these pieces. A better shot of that box art. 2 gentlemen fighting off a rattlesnake with a safety pin. This is definitely an Irwin Allen television series if I've ever seen one. And Irwin Allen was the producer of the series Lost in Space. So, guy definitely had some experience with imaginative television series, to say the least. I believe he also did Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And we've already been through this to make sure everything's showed up correctly. Get a good look at the base. Nice sculpted grass. Be where the rattlesnake goes here. I'm not even going to try to assemble this thing. Just looking at the pieces of the snake earlier today. Yeah, I don't think I've got enough earthquake putty to keep this thing together and hold it together. This is Virginia's kit. This is one she'd been wanting. She saw it at Pegasus Hobbies a while back, and she wanted it, and I wound up picking it up for her. Really nicely printed instructional sheet, all black and white. Bring this back into play here. You know, very nicely illustrated. Nothing really headache inducing that I can see, except for having to put all those rattlesnake pieces together and putty them and rescribe scale lines. But apart from that, this looks like a really easy kit to assemble. And then the suggested paint colors, but we all know, I don't think anybody has ever gone by the suggested paint colors on the back of a kit unless it's been a car or aircraft or something like that. Usually everybody goes their own way. And as you can see, coming soon, Lost in Space, Cyclops, and Chariot down at the bottom. So, you know, really, really nicely printed instruction sheet. And I think this was something that Dahlin Hobby did that wasn't done with Aurora or Polar Lights. And I'm going to move this out of the way and readjust the camera a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. But you get a double-sided fold-out backdrop that actually will wrap around the dial a little bit. Pretty cool. Tall grass. Fits right in with the box art. Or you can have the tall grass with the Spindrift in the background. Pretty cool. Actually pretty cool. You don't see a lot of kits that do that anymore. So it's kind of a nice throwback. And parts and pieces wise, the snake is a lot, to put it mildly. But scale detail on the snake itself is really well done. And the belly scales, the upper body and back, I can actually feel the little diamond shapes across the top of him. I believe he'll fit together just like so. So he's actually going to be semi-coiled. And then the rattler at the end of the tail, which I think, nope, a few more pieces still missing. But yeah, like I said, I'm not even going to remotely attempt to assemble this, even a dry fit. I get something stuck together, I might not be able to get it back apart again. And the parts tree with the three main figures that were included. The main crew of the Spindrift, the little blades of grass that will insert into the base. Nice Land of the Giants logo nameplate, snake fangs, and a safety pin to fight that snake off with. Pretty imaginative. You got to fight off a rattlesnake with a safety pin. But that's the way they did it back in the day, and I can't deny, after having watched that, Lost in Space, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Irwin Allen had a hell of a mind for television series. They're pretty entertaining, I won't lie. Now, me being born in 1971, these are a little bit ahead of my time, but they still hold their own to this day against most sci-fi series that don't really last that long anymore. So Irwin Allen got it right. It'll be the main body of the rattlesnake. Boy, that's awkward as hell to put together. And it'll coil up like that, and I believe the remainder of the tail will go right here, I believe. And this will be the upper part of the inner mouth. Anatomically, as far as the snake goes, they actually did this really, really well. I'm not sure who the original sculptor was for the kit, but they did a really wonderful job of capturing the inside of the snake's mouth. And then the lower half of the snake's mouth with very tiny teeth. Not that I expect a rattlesnake to have a mouthful of choppers like Venom or anything like that. But, and then the halves of the snake's head. I can't deny it, this is actually a pretty damn decent sized kit for a 1/48. Very nicely detailed, a lot of washes, a lot of dry brushing. Playing around with transparent paints will really bring this thing to life. So this is a really cool kit. If anybody out there is into the Irwin Allen television series or the old school plastic kits that were originally issued by Aurora, such as this one, you ought to check these things out. They're worth the time, and they appear to be definitely worth the money. Yeah, Land of the Giants, the Giant Snake plastic model kit. Relatively short review. I wasn't expecting it to be 20 or 30 minutes, but... And as usual, these things never ever go back in the box the same way they came out. But then again, maybe they will. So there you have it. Land of the Giants. Check it out if you're interested. If you like what you see, hit the like button. Leave any comments. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. And I'll have another review coming up here within the next few minutes. Stay healthy, stay safe. Everybody enjoy their upcoming weekend. Build a kit.